following is an ESPN special presentation.
It's the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and it's qualifying for the second Brickyard 400 this coming Saturday.
Well, you can have a real good sponsor with lots of money to spend. You can drive like you're going crazy and be held back by the wind. You can live wild and free, feel like you can fly. Win the race if you don't qualify. Well, you can win the race if you don't qualify. You can't go to the winner's circle, hold that trophy high. There's lots of fame and fortune that reaches far and wide. Win the race if you don't qualify. Win the race if you don't qualify.
So, Ned, the speeds are going up, but the quality perhaps of the activity is also going up, because here is Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, a lot of good cars drew big numbers here this afternoon. Don't know if it was an advantage or a disadvantage. As Bobby Labonte says, the sun's going in and out. Don't know if it's helping anybody or hurting anybody. Everybody would rather that the cloud would be over the sun when they go out there. But Joe Nemechek is another driver that is really getting his act together. He's one of those owner drivers that we see in Winston Cup racing today, and a great run for him here today.
Well, this is the guy that has set the marks in practice yesterday and in practice today. He has turned in a 172.391 as the best and fastest lap so far. He begins his official qualification mark as the defending champion of this race. And look at the speed he got at the start-finish line, but it's considerably slower at the end of the front stretch.
You know, we heard Bobby Hamilton say that he got into turn one just a little bit too hot. That 188 miles an hour, he was fast. It's amazing that he made it. Now, you see, Jeff has picked it back up, though, equals him, and coming off of going into turn two, and then coming off of turn two, he's just a mile an hour ahead. So he's very close, and you can see the line, he's just a little bit lower on the racetrack than the bubble time. No, that's the pole time.
Oh, and he almost loses it coming out of four. The back end gets way around on him, but he takes the checkered flag, perhaps pushing it just a little too hard.
Now, he was faster when he came across the start-finish line, Bob, to get that checkered flag than was Hamilton. Let's see how that equates now. And he does it.
Oh,
new record.
Darn. Unbelievable. And it's a new track record. 172.414 was the fastest last year by Rick Mast, and by golly, Jeff did it, and he almost crashed, BP.
Hey, almost crashed coming off turn four, Ray. He did? He did.
Nah, well, you know, when he puts that thing on the line like he did at Loudon, you know, he's almost crashed it, but he's not almost put it on the pole 8 times this year.
Man, oh man, what do you guys got?
Jeff Gordon.
Oh, come on, there's got to be more than that.
Look at I'm telling you, I've got a good group of guys, and we got good motors. We've got the whole package, but, you know, Jeff Gordon makes the difference.
All right, Ray, congratulations.
Jeff Gordon turned in a lot of his racing experience on the dirt tracks within a 50-mile radius of this place, and he acted like he was on a dirt track coming out of turn number 4 to complete his qualification run. But Jeff Gordon, the defending champion, has done it. He's on the pole right now for the second race. We'll be right back. Jeff Gordon has done it. Here's Benny.
Oh, awesome lap. What about this place?
Well, I tell you, I'm just glad to be back here on pit road, because I come off turn 4, and I've never been so sideways in my life to be able to recover it and still be able to sit on the pole. It was a great lap. The car was very fast. It's been fast all day long, and we didn't get the cloud cover that we wanted to, but the guys did a great job on this car to set it up, and I couldn't ask for it to be much perfect, but I pushed it as hard as I could possibly push it, and I come off 4, and it started to come around, and I said, I can't lift, and I didn't, but it got pretty sideways.
Scare you a little bit?
It scared me a lot. I thought, I'm going to spin out in front of a lot of people that are really rooting for me, and, you know, we can't let that happen, and God was with me on that one, I guarantee it.
Is there anyone who can beat you?
Yeah, Bobby Labonte can beat me, and it really depends on what these clouds do. I mean, the track is a little slick right now because of the heat, you know, maybe it'll be the same for him as it was for me, but he's definitely one that can beat us.
Now we got to stop talking. We got to go to John Kernan. He's with the real behind this car, Brooke. Go, John.
Absolutely.
Benny, I guess you're talking about the real boss behind Jeff. I'm with his wife, Brooke. And Brooke, you didn't get to see the lap out there, but it was pretty exciting, I think.
That's what I hear. I heard he was never been so sideways in his life, and I'm kind of glad I didn't see it, actually. I always sit on pit road right where the car leaves and just stay in one spot the whole time it's going around, because sometimes I don't want to see how he's hanging it out, especially today.
Now, everybody tells us if you want to find out what's really going on, you have to talk to the wives. Bobby Labonte is out there on the track. Do you think he's got a shot at Jeff?
Yeah, I definitely do. Bobby's team is so strong this year, and his lap time today were just excellent, and I think that's probably what Jeff would say. He's probably the biggest threat today. Now,
I know the big question, though, I got to ask you this, if I can. Last year, you guys ate pizza. If he wins this year, you're going out for a better dinner?
No, I think we'll stick to pizza. It's a ritual. It's a tradition now, but that pizza was the best tasting pizza I think we've ever had last year.
All right, thanks, Brooke.
And Ned, this was one of the scariest things I've seen in a while here. Look at how sideways Jeff Gordon is coming off 4.
He said he couldn't afford to get off the accelerator. I'm sure he wanted to as that thing got sideways and he saw that wall coming up, but he just kept his foot in the floor and got it straightened out some way or another. I'll tell you, he was way out of shape.
Seems like that if he hadn't got off the accelerator, the rear end would have kept coming around. But
I think if he had got off the accelerator, the back end would have come on around on it. Yeah.
As the first round of qualifying for Saturday's Brickyard 400 has been completed, and Jeff Gordon is on the pole position. No big surprise there, Ned. He's been fastest since the gates opened.
I think everyone knew when they came here that he's the man that they had to beat, because he won more poles at other tracks this year than any other driver, and he's been on a roll. He has 5 wins and on top in the point standings, and boy, they just got it all together. And then, of course, his performance here last year in winning the first race. And I think the qualifying might be a little bit closer, Bob, from 1st to 20th. Just a little over 2 miles an hour separates Gordon and the 20th place car, Darrell Walter.
A great run, 171.138. But there is the pole car at 172.536. The DuPont Chevrolet, driven by Jeff Gordon. And there is the PPG trophy that will go to the winner of the race. He won it, of course, last year. And there you see there is one lap around the Motor Speedway. Jeff and Brooke are trying to make their way from pit road back into the garage area, but a lot of well-wishers, a lot of media gathered around Brooke and Jeff, as Jeff has once again been the star of qualifying here at Indianapolis. Last year, of course, Rick Mast was the pole sitter. Jeff Gordon was the star of the race, and now Jeff is the star of qualifying.
About $90,000 goes to the pole winner here, so quite an effort to add to his already big winnings in 1995.
Over $600,000 purse last year to Jeff for winning this race. It's going to be more than that this year because the race has been upped to $4.5 million by Tony George and other members of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway staff, making it, of course, the largest purse in NASCAR Winston Cup racing. And, of course, the crowd that will gather here on Saturday will be the largest to watch a Winston Cup race. Here's the pole award, the Busch Pole Award.
Welcome you all on behalf of Anheuser-Busch and Busch Beer to this year's Brickyard 400 Busch Qualifying Awards. It is with great pleasure that we have spent 18 years with the NASCAR Association, and we are proud to be part of this great race. On behalf of Anheuser-Busch and Busch Beer, it is with great pleasure that I award this check for $40,000 to Mr. Jeff Gordon for his winning of the Busch Pole Award at the Brickyard 400. This is Mr. Gordon's 8th Busch Pole Award this year. Congratulations to him, DuPont, and the entire Hendrick Motorsports Racing team.
Oh, thank you very much, boy. Thank you very much. This is definitely the biggest pole that I've ever been on, and it's the greatest one that I'm sure I'll ever remember. This is a big one, and I don't know what to say because we've had a great year. This team has really brought us through to a lot of big wins and a lot of big poles, but nothing tops this one. So thank you very much. It's wonderful, and it's not the money, folks. It's being right here in Indianapolis at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
There it is.
As Jeff Gordon gets the pole award. Now this pole is worth actually $90,000 in prizes and cash, as Gordon will get the $40,000 check from Busch Beer his 8th Bush Pole Award, and they're getting a couple of photographs right now, so we have moved back away for just a moment. He will also receive a Chevrolet van that is worth some $35,000, and again, the total package here is worth $90,000. On the outside, of course, is Bobby Hamilton driving for Richard Petty, outside front row. And Benny Parsons is caught up with his car owner, BP.
Hey, Richard, looks pretty good up on the board.
Richard Petty, who never got a chance to run here at Indianapolis. The celebration continues. Jeff Gordon picking up the Bush Pole Award. Well, about 1 o'clock Indianapolis time this afternoon, little Jerry Punch is with the pole sitter.
Well, the festivities continue here, Bob, as Jeff Gordon is collecting his 90 grand for a new track record, Jeffrey. And happy birthday eve. Tomorrow's your birthday, so an early happy birthday present.
Well, I'm still going to be feeling this one tomorrow. I guarantee you, when I wake up tomorrow morning, this is going to be the greatest birthday present anybody could have ever given me. And so thank God for that one, because today was just a wonderful day. We were fast in practice, but we had to do it in a one-lap run with a lot of pressure on us, you know, from a lot of different people. Everybody's trying to win this pole, and to come away with it, oh man, it's been a great week, and it's starting to be even a better week.
I know you expected Sterling Marlin to be quick and Bobby Labonte with another Hendrick engine, but you had to be a little bit surprised with the Bobby Hamilton run, the 43 car being so quick early in qualifying. Yeah, I was. You know, I really didn't think that. I knew he had a good lap. I watched it on TV, but I had no idea it was going to be quite that fast. And so that made me have to go out there and really push, because I really felt like the 18 with Bobby Labonte, Sterling, and maybe Earnhardt, some other Fords back there, are going to probably run even faster than that. So I guess none of us really knew just how good of a time it was that Bobby Hamilton had set. And I just went out there and tried to do the best that I could. And, you know, I hung it out a little bit sideways, but we still came away with a good lap. So that's what really matters. Well, we asked Rick Hendrick if he saw that sideways almost near spin out of turn 4. He said no, and I don't want to see it either. I get scared enough as it is. Congratulations again on pole number 8 for 1995. Oh, thanks a lot, Jerry. I got to say thanks to DuPont and this DuPont Rainbow Warrior group. They're building some fantastic race cars. Everybody at Hendrick Motorsports is building the best engines in the world and best chassis, and we couldn't do it without them. Well, we'll let Jeff Gordon continue with the pole festivities here. He will be moving over, by the way, to join our set with Bob Jenkins and Ned Jarrett momentarily for the completion of our qualifying show. So when they get finished up here, he'll be headed to you guys.
And he won the pole despite this. Wow. As he came out at turn 4. The car was almost completely sideways, but Jeff gathered it in, and he has won the pole position with a new track record here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Jeff Gordon will start from pole tomorrow, 172.536 on Saturday, we should say. Bobby Hamilton will start alongside. Position, the pole sitter, Jeff Gordon, for Saturday's Brickyard 400.
You can climb on the ladder, reaching for the sky.
Oh, and he almost loses it coming out of 4. The back end gets way around on it, but he takes the checkered flag. Perhaps pushing it just a little too hard. Unbelievable, and it's a new track record.
You know, when he puts that thing on the line like he did at Loudon, you know, he's almost crashed it, but he's not almost put it on the pole 8 times this year.
Man, oh man, what you guys got?
Jeff Gordon.
I was extremely loose. I really thought at that moment, all I wanted to do was gather back up and bring it home. Thank you. It's definitely overwhelming. That's why I try not to think about it. I'm just, you know, answer the questions that come to me, and you know, sit down and eat dinner and talk to my wife, and don't talk about what's happening, because my life is so wonderful right now, and got so many people out there supporting me, and you know, I really don't know how to react to it, so I don't want to have to react to it. I just want to lead life one day at a time.
Yesterday, Jeff Gordon won the pole for the second Brickyard 400 coming up tomorrow in first round qualifying rain. Let's take a look at the AutoZone qualifying recap from yesterday. Jeff Gordon on the pole with a new track record of 172.536, delaying second round qualifying. We'll be back with the Brickyard Kid, Jeff Gordon, when we return to the Speedway. Back here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the rain continues to come down. Jeff Gordon fans are here by the thousands. Last year, we remind you, Jeff Gordon started in 3rd position, won the race, of course. He was followed by Jeff Bodine, who started 7th, Bill Elliott, who started 6th. Rusty Wallace came from 12th to finish 4th. Dale Earnhardt was alongside Rick Mast in the front row when the race started last year, ended up 5th, and Darrell Waltrip came from 27th to 6th position in last year's inaugural race here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And Ned and I are joined now in our broadcast position back here in the garage area by the man of the week again here in Indianapolis, Jeff Gordon. Good to see you. I guess you're just kind of waiting out the rain too, huh?
Well, you know, I mean, certainly we'd like to get out there and make some laps. We haven't run with any other cars since we've been here. But we pretty much know from last year what you know, how the setup of the car should probably be. But we've got a new car, the Monte Carlo, so things are a little bit different for us. And as we know in the past, some of the races that we've run that we didn't get to use the last practice, we've actually been a little bit better off. So if we practice today or if we don't practice today, I don't think it'll be a major factor for us tomorrow.
Well,
Ray's pretty good at guessing.
At least you're not sweating out the possibility of not getting into the field.
Yeah, and that's, you know, that's a tough thing because I mean I'm glad that that I'm through that, but I know that there's a lot of guys out there that are sweating that really want to get out there, and I think they should get their chance, you know. But Mother Nature can only answer to that one.
Well, let's take a look at the run, shall we? Now, I know there are parts of this probably you don't want to watch again, but here you are taking the green flag and kind of describe the run as we watch it here going into turn 1.
Well, actually, even before I took the green flag, it got a little loose off of 4, and so I was a little hesitant through the first turn here in turn 1, and you'll see sometimes based on some of Bobby Hamilton's runs, he was actually a little bit better than I was in turn 1. Turn 2, I made it right back up. The car felt great. Come off of 2 really hard down the back straightaway. Turn 3 is one of the fastest corners on the racetrack, and you can run in there very, very hard, and you can also run through the corner very fast. You don't have to brake near as much as you do in turn 1. I come off here, I said, all right, I got one last corner to make this thing a really awesome lap. Let's go for it. I punched it down in there. I got a little low on the rumble strip there, and then right here, the car just, it started to come around. I thought, well, it's just going to come around a little bit. It came around a lot more than I thought, and the thought did go through my mind. This might be a whole lot more spectacular than I thought it was going to be. I was looking down the back straightaway, or down the front straightaway to my right, and then it straightened back up, and I didn't have to get out of it too much, but I did. It did, you know, slow us down a little bit. And so when I came around, I'm looking up on the billboard, and I see our number up there first. I'm like, no way. You know, there's no way that this has happened. So it was a great accomplishment for us and our team.
What do you think you would have run if you had not gotten crossface?
Well, they had come around to all the drivers, and they said, you know, this is the pole speed from last year. Pick what you think it's going to be this year. And I had picked a 51.95, not that what I was going to run, just what I thought the pole would be. And I think we would have been in the 51-second bracket. You know, we were going all out, doing whatever it would take to sit on the pole here for this big race. And I think we had a great car, and I just tried to take it a little bit too far. And you know, that just shows how good this team really is, to be able to have a car that good where you can get that sideways, because that does not happen very often, and still come away with a great run.
And Vance, when he talks about 51.95, that's the elapsed time, the seconds that it takes to go around here. He actually did it in 52.1600, so he was not far from that 51-second bracket, which many people felt would be a long time before they'd ever reach that bracket here.
I certainly didn't think that we would until we started practicing, and I had run on new tires a 52.20, which was pretty much right at what we qualified at. So I thought, man, if we can do that in practice, there's no telling what we're going to be able to do when it comes to qualifying. You get that adrenaline pumping, and you drive in deeper than you've ever driven in before, and you get all the tape on the front, and you pick up a lot more speed when it comes to qualifying.
Jeff Gordon is going to stay with us for a few more minutes here. We're going to take a break at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway where it continues to rain. There you can see Bobby Hamilton on the left. He'll start alongside Jeff in the front row with Michael Waltrip. Back in a moment. Jeff, we all know the tremendous pressure and obligations that you have during a period like this. You ever get an opportunity to get with Brooke in the car and just try to take a drive out by Pittsboro and see the Indiana countryside, or is that impossible nowadays?
Well, weeks like this it is. When we come and test, it would be much more possible, but Brooke wasn't with me, but I did happen to drive through Pittsboro yesterday, and I tried to wave to as many people as I could. Unfortunately, I couldn't stop. I had Goodyear functions and fan club meeting and everything else going on last night, but I would love to, you know, she's been out to the house before, by the house where we used to live and through Pittsboro, but I would love to go out there and be able to just relax, see some of the old folks that we used to go eat lunch with every day, and go over to Frank and Mary's and have some good catfish.
But you're paying a pretty good price with the success that you've had.
I'm not complaining, Bob.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, there's certainly a lot more things that I would love to do. I'd love to be able to get back into an open wheel car more often, to go to more races, you know, and go see high school friends and even friends from California I don't get to see very often. So there are some sacrifices, but I'm, you know, having a wonderful time. Things are going better for me than I ever anticipated, and I'm certainly not complaining.
Well, we showed you a little bit ago Bobby Hamilton, Michael Waltrip, who are standing by in the rain, and Benny Parsons is also with them. What do you think, Jeff, about outside front row sitter Bobby Hamilton? You going to challenge you down into turn one?
Well, I was sitting in the Goodyear building over here watching on TV when Bobby ran his lap, and you know, it's really hard to tell from TV just how good a lap can be. And if you look at Bobby's run, the car looks slow almost because it's so fast. I mean, the car is really hooked up, and he made a great run. I mean, he's not getting out close to the wall, he's not hanging the thing out, and he really had a great run going, and the car is definitely working well. So the downforce is there, you know, their engine was good. He's going to be really tough tomorrow. I think that the Pontiacs, you know, are coming on stronger and stronger, and I think we're getting a little bit nervous about hearing about next year's Pontiac. So who knows? But you know, it's important to lead this race, and we're going to go out and try to lead as many laps. I think the first one would be great to lead, but you know, you can't get into a big hurry also. It's not going to be one on the first lap. So it just all depends on how much pressure is put on us going into that first turn.
Those speeds, of course, are in comparison with Rick Mast, who, when Bobby qualified, was the fastest qualifier.
Jeff, is there a preference? Most racetracks, you prefer to be on the inside when the green flag drops. Is that the case here at Indianapolis?
Definitely. We saw a little bit of side-by-side racing last year, and I was one of the ones on the outside, and it was not a real comfortable feeling, but it can be done. You can race on the outside, but the preferable line is definitely on the inside. So having the inside line going into one is going to be something I'm going to be going for, but Bobby might be able to try to, you know, beat us into the first turn, maybe outbreak us or something. But again, that race isn't going to be won on the first lap, as you know. It's a short race, but it's still a long day.
Last year's Brickyard 400 winner, this year's pole sitter, and the leader in the quest for the Cup standings in the Winston Cup Series over Sterling Marlin, Dale Earnhardt, Mark Martin, and Ted Musgrave. You mentioned wanting to get back into an open wheel car. Does that mean that you might be here during the month of May for the Indy 500?
I didn't mean that kind of open wheel. I've never been in that kind of open wheel car. I don't think that would be possible. But, you know, someday I would love to just... I've sat in one, and so I've been in one, but, you know, someday I'd like to just drive one to have fun, but not to really compete. NASCAR Winston Cup racing is definitely where my future is at.
Jeff, good luck tomorrow. It's been a pleasure having you with us, and maybe number 2, huh?
We're going to try. We're going to try real hard. This is a big race, so thanks for having us.
Jeff Gordon, pole sitter for tomorrow's Brickyard 400. It continues to rain here in Indianapolis. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
Have a real good sponsor with lots of money to spend. You can drive like